rattle off my head right now. But Serpent in the Rainbow covers penis piercing. Wow. Interesting. Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I wanted to see Dark Fae. I'm really excited about that. Really, I'm really into that. I want to see that. Wow, I haven't thought about that movie in forever. Serpent in the Rainbow. That was Wes Craven. I don't remember the penis piercing, but I remember a lot of other weird stuff in there. I want to see. I really do want to see Curious Case of Benjamin Button, though. I think this is Brad. Like, I'm hearing Brad Pitt's. Like, this is his Forrest Gump. It's sort of his epic, and I have to see that really bad. But I the wrestler with Mickey Rourke, he's supposed to play a sort of aging, washed-up wrestler, like sort of like a WWE style wrestler, and he looks. And there's I don't believe that I had to apply very much makeup. He looks just completely like destroyed, and it's pretty intense to see. But yeah, I'm waiting for that to come here, and I'm waiting to see Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I want to see Milk. I have like a long list of stuff. I saw Slumdog Millionaire, which is great. And now I want to re-rent Serpent in the Rainbow because I haven't seen it in a long time, and apparently there's a guy tied to a chair with a stake through his dick. And look, I haven't seen that, so I had to watch that. Apparently there's more dick piercing in there. Oh, no, God. I don't want to see Twilight.
You started recording again?
Yeah,
without me?
Yeah.
What the hell? You're supposed to wait till I got back.
Maybe people are into Twilight. I'm not.
Did you do the intro?
Oh, right.
Welcome back. It's a whole different because I was recorded in like one section.
I was alone.
You were alone?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So it would have been like,
you were alone for two.
I'm Matt, the man behind the rant, and here was Doc, but now Doc is here again. So
I'm here.
Here is Doc the gaffer.
Now don't let the shirt fool you. I'm not a nurse.
Nor are you UFO Phil.
Nor am I UFO Phil.
Yes. In the chats, they are discussing the Twilight, which is a young adult vampire novel written by a Mormon woman, where they all look at each other in sort of smoldering ways, but no one ever has sex. And it's been made into a movie for young adults about people who look at each other and sort of like,
people who look at each other fondly and don't have sex.
Bang you right now, but yet we are in high school and we are vampires, so we will not do anything about that.
And we are Mormon vampires, and that would just be wrong.
I don't know particularly if they're Mormons in the movie, but I do know that the author of the books is Mormon.
Huh.
Which I guess is more progressive than it used to be.
What, Mormonism?
Yeah, because there's a lot of Mormons out there nowadays. I mean, and not like really out there in entertainment, but the lead singer of the band The Killers, I believe, is a Mormon. There's a couple other famous Mormons, and I was reading a list of them online. I was like, wow. I was really kind of surprised because it wasn't.
How did you stumble across a list of famous Mormons online?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
Were you looking for Mormon porn?
Yes, I was looking for Mormon porn. I wanted to look for magic underwear porn because the Mormons still believe in magic underwear.
Right. I thought those were your people though. That had the magic underwear.
No.
Don't Jews have magic underwear?
No.
Oh no, they put that fucking thing on their door.
I'm not a Jew. I'm not Jewish. I have nothing wrong with being Jewish.
What?
But I'm not Jewish. No, I'm not.
Okay.
I really don't. Yeah,
it's okay. I mean, no one's gonna not watch the show because you're a Jew.
Oh.
They understand. It's a diverse crowd.
So maybe there's a Mormon chic thing going on right now. Mitt Romney was Mormon too. Somebody mentioned that in there, and that's true. That he almost became president, or was almost in the running to become president. He's Mormon. Maybe it's sort of like a Mormon chic thing's going on here.
It could be.
I don't know. Could be. I don't know. Anyways.
So I made another video for YouTube.
Okay.
It's called The Note.
The Note.
Yes.
Where? So if I looked up If I looked up on YouTube, The Note.
You might find it.
I might find it. Okay.
Yes.
How long is your film?
Oh, it's only like 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
But there's going to be a sequel
Okay.
because
Is this a funny
no,
short?
there's nothing funny about
Nothing
it.
funny.
Actually, it's incredibly boring.
Okay.
But a lot of people have watched it.
I see. Okay.
I have no idea why, but yes, maybe it's intriguing.
Okay.
Maybe they just want to know what the note says.
And there is a sequel to the note. But,
Yes.
But to tell anything,
There may
because-
be several sequels.
because
you know.
it's only 2.5 minutes. To tell any of the storyline would just blow the whole thing.
I can't really tell you anything about it.
Okay.
And it's not because I don't want to give anything away. There's really nothing to tell because it's a video of absolutely nothing.
Okay.
And you
And a lot of people have watched this
I
video
think-
about nothing. Are you Seinfeld?
I think you would have to about watch the UFO Phil live from the bunker show to understand any of my YouTube videos at all. Because if you've never heard of him, then you just won't get it.
All right. So if I'm getting all sorts of other hits for the note, what's your YouTube name? Like, how would I be able to?
Well, In the Back Row was already taken by someone who
Oh.
I'm sure is like really worthy and really enjoys having
Sure.
the name In the Back Row on YouTube. So that wasn't available. So I wanted to, kind of, keep it similar, something movie related. So on YouTube, I am
Monkey
Feature
Balls.
Picture Show,
Feature picture show.
which is the line that precedes In the Back Row in the song.
Yes. Awesome. I'm
So-
going to look that up. Feature picture show, The Note. I'm looking that up.
Yeah,
52 people plus the 4 people in the chat room just got that.
They did just
That is 56 possible
feature,
viewers.
and it's weird because a lot of people have watched it, but no one's actually rated it. So which concerns me. They're just like, okay, this is nothing. So like maybe
Right.
like they didn't even watch the whole thing. Maybe they watched like 30 seconds. Like, okay, this is boring me.
Maybe they were confounded by your genius.
They could have been spellbound,
Spellbound.
or they could have died in their seat and just like with their finger on the
Apparently,
cursor of the replay
we
button.
lost a lurker. Maybe that lurker went to go check it out.
They might have gone to check it out, and if they did, they will not be back.
No.
So-
No, they will be gone for at least 2.5 minutes.
No, but yeah, I ask people to do a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, go to YouTube and rate my crappy video, or
And rarely do they
go to
listen.
my website and click on. No, really,
Look on the ads.
no, 52 people. There's like 55
All right,
people.
the person came back.
55 people.
Lurker who came back, did you watch the video?
They're a lurker. They can't fucking tell you.
Lurker, log in and tell us what you thought of the video.
But no, if these 55 people all went to my website and they all clicked on like 5 ads, it's like
That's almost enough to send you to check out your movie.
it might be. It might be,
In theory.
in theory.
Okay.
No, one person in like 15 minutes could generate like $6
Oh. Okay.
easily, just by clicking around on stuff. Or
You're on your way.
if you don't have 15 minutes, you can simply just donate $5,000 to $50,000. Whatever you have.
What movie was that in? It's an old movie where the guy gives him a waiter a tip or a taxi driver a tip. He's like, "Oh, thanks. Now I can afford that vacation home in so and so, in Tahiti or something." It was like a
I don't
gag in maybe one of the Abbott and Costello movies or something. I don't know, but
Wow, did you mention a movie?
I did.
Wow.
Going back to the Mormon thing, somebody in the chat room actually said that Spokane is crawling with them.
Crawling
Would you say
with
that there's an
Mormons?
infestation of Mormons?
Should we spray around the edges of the house?
Keep them away.
Keep them away? Is there something that can be done?
Should we be alarmed about this? Should we be concerned? I don't know.
We should make a large Mormon motel, like a roach motel, but
And
just a
they'll
really
all
big
go
one.
inside.
Yeah.
And then we
Or
can
maybe
get
we
rid
just
of
make one where they take bait back to the nest,
Yes.
and
What
infect
kind
the
of
others.
what kind of bait
Oh,
would
wait,
the
no.
Mormon take back to
Wait a
its
minute!
nest?
The U.S. already tried to do that with black people, and they called it AIDS. It didn't work out. So yeah, that's probably a bad idea.
Oh, that's a conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, it's just this disease that popped up out of nowhere in Africa. How come all diseases start off in Africa? And how can we have so many chemical research plants in Africa?
I don't know. I would say maybe it's because it's the cradle of civilization, but maybe I don't know. What do I know? There could be a vast worldwide conspiracy. The Illuminati is controlling everything, and they've got us all fucked. I don't know.
Well, as a Jew, you're part of that system, though.
Yes, as a Jew, I am part of the Illuminati, and I can't really speak exactly of everything I know. There are trained snipers with bullets that will pierce the shell of this building and take me out.
So you probably shouldn't say anything.
I will speak no more of it.
Good.
Yeah.
So,
So, anyways, movies.
movies, yeah.
Oh, all right. So, I was gonna say a tragic death this week. Ricardo Montalban has passed.
Really?
Ricardo Montalban has passed.
Hmm.
Yeah. Khan.
Did you want to...
Khan has passed. Khan! Oh, the best moment in a Star Trek movie. I'm not even a Trekkie, but Star Trek 2 was one of the best of them all. And Ricardo Montalban made a great villain. I'm sure he was sick to death by the time he died of hearing people go up to him and go, Khan! And, like, and do the whole bit.
Uh-huh.
God damn you! And, like, all that. I'm sure he was probably like, please,
Yeah.
stop.
Or when he's getting his change at McDonald's or something like that,
Yeah,
the
it
guy
probably-
behind the counter, and from hell's heart I stab at thee.
Yeah, from Hell's Heart.
Really fucking annoying.
They were probably really annoyed by that stuff. But yeah, great stuff. But even before that,
I'm joking.
as a young man, or when I was very little.
Wait, I don't want
younger, I remember watching a lot of Fantasy Island. So even before I was kind of exposed to
Is that where you developed your thing for midgets?
the Wrath of Khan,
Male midgets in
yes.
particular?
Yes, before I even saw the Star Trek 2, Ricardo Montalban for me was always Mr. Rourke. Now I understand he has a back catalog, and I'm not that much of a movie geek of he has a back catalog of a lot of. He did a lot of other movies too. It's just that's culturally significant is that he did Khan and he was Mr. Rourke. That's what everybody knows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was like in the original Star Trek. He played.
Yeah, he was.
He played. Khan,
He actually returned.
and it was a really popular episode, and so they just thought like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if the planet we left this dude on, like we ran across him again, and he would be older, so
He would.
It worked out.
Can you do your
But yeah,
impression?
no.
Oh, you do it. You did it one other time in the show.
I know.
It is so good. It's uncanny. I love it.
But I'm not going to do it this time.
Damn it.
Because I already did it once.
It's so good though. It really is just the best.
So, yeah.
Can I do? If I do it badly, you'll have to do it.
Their costumes in Star Trek 2 were just, or was it the first one? What were the ones where they're like kind of like powder blue and really tight? Was that the first one?
I believe in the second one they're kind of like a crimson red, because by the end, like, Kirk has it like open and there's a little bit of blood and he sort of like looks angry.
Yeah, well, the uniforms evolved as the Star Trek series
I'm
went
pretty
on,
sure the powder blue one's probably the
But
first one.
yeah, and those were awful because, I mean, nobody looked good
No.
at all. Everyone looked all tubby and old and shit, and they're just like, okay, we got to get some better looking uniforms. Who costumed this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
But yeah, Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island.
Passed away.
The
What did he
plane.
die-
The
what,
plane.
What did he die from?
I didn't get that information.
Well, thanks
It's
for
not
the
in my notes.
thanks for the news, Matt.
Was it like, I mean, and they tried to relaunch Fantasy Island, like a new version of it, a couple years ago, with the English actor. Maybe somebody out there knows better than can bring that up. I just thought of this off the top of my head. As a Mr. Rourke, it wasn't the same. There was this really, really great, like, the old Fantasy Islands have like this. They're very dark and weird. Like how these people pay money to get their fantasies, but then like it's like Mr. Rourke tricks them. He's like, oh yeah, like you'll get your fantasy, but something really crazy shit's gonna happen to you first. Like it was a really creepy show. I remember it was paired with the Love Boat when I was a kid, and you like laughed at the Love Boat and you're like, aha, this is all goofy fun. And then Fantasy Island came on, and I didn't ever know if I had to hide under the covers when I was watching it. Like something bizarre might happen that I would be freaked out about.
And they tried to pass it off as being so nice and friendly. What you know, them in like the little white suits,
Yeah.
little white cars. And
Yeah.
everyone had tropical drinks and what do they call those flowery necklaces?
Lays.
Yeah, everyone had lays. So yeah, it seemed like what a happy show.
Right.
And then it would get weird and fucked up.
And I love like Mr. Rourke would kind of tell Tattoo in the beginning, like that he was going to do fucked up shit. Like, oh yes, Mr. Johnson's plan is to masturbate into a golden tub with 63 virgins, but that's not exactly what he's going to get. You know, like some kind of crazy thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
And be like, what the fuck?
He's gonna get a stick of butter and John Lithgow instead, because I believe that's what he really wants. And I'm Mr. Rourke, I would know.
And at the end, Mr. Johnson would have learned something about himself. Like, I did
And
not
John
know.
Lithgow would have learned something about himself.
And you know, at the end though, but when you get, you know, at the end when he sees everybody off on the plane, you see him with John Lithgow going, "Thank you, Mr. Rourke. You helped me learn so much." It was really weird. It's a weird show.
You know what? So's this.
It is. This is a weird show, but Ricardo Montalban passed away.
Yep, that's what I understand.
Yeah.
So
Somebody actually, Dark Fae knew Malcolm McDowell was the new Rourke.
Huh.
And he, not that Malcolm McDowell couldn't have brought that level of weirdness. It just, I don't know. Maybe the writers were different, the you know, like the whole, like, I don't know, production of the show was off. I think it was Barry Sonnenfeld, and I don't know if somebody out there can correct me or not, but I think Barry.
They probably could. He needs a lot of correction, especially if you're a husky man. He loves being corrected by husky men. I believe you call them bears.
Yes, bears. Bears, for the uninitiated, are large gay men who are hairy, predominantly hairy, or with beards, who like to wear flannels. I've known actually two bears in my life. They were friends of mine back east, but they like to camp a lot. They like camping. These are like lumberjack type guys who happen to be homosexual. But one of the funniest things, though, is the
Funnier than that?
The classifications. No. Below being a bear, like if like a bear isn't quite graduated to that, you know, there's cubs and otters. There are divisions below a bear.
You know an awful lot about faggotry, Matt.
I do. I know this stuff. This is not because I've researched it or anything.
Well, my little otter.
But yeah, I've had friends who were in that community, but
I suspect my neighbor might be a marmot.
might be a marmot.
I don't like the way he looks at me.
Oh, you have to see that there's a John Waters movie called The Dirty Shame, and in it, there's a bear family moving into the community, and there's other plot lines going on through the whole thing, but it's typical John Waters. It's very funny and bizarre and out there. But there's a girl who hangs out with them. You know, like typically, like when a girl hangs out with gay men, she's called a fag hag, right?
Or a fruit fly.
Or a fruit fly. Well, there's a girl hanging out with them, and she tells this other woman, "I'm the only Goldilocks in this bear, like this bear family or something," and it's just so funny. I'm like, that's so cool. They're called Goldilocks. I love that. That's so fucking great. Just made me laugh. It's awesome. But yeah, there's bears. See, we're educational on this show. Earlier we talked about all kinds of strange body modifications. Now we talked about divisions of the gay community that maybe you were not aware of before.
So, yeah. Movies then.
And no Dark Fae. I'm no cub. I'm all otter. No. If it was going to we did kind of discuss fetishes earlier, but we I don't know. Anywho.
Did I mention about the knuckle on the index finger?
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I'm not for that, but hey, to each their own, right?
Sure. So movies then.
So movies.
Don't you usually bring notes with some sort of movie
I
information?
did.
Nobody's going to get on webcam and I'm not going to be able to play my damn game.
Anybody? Any takers? So movie stuff. I saw Pineapple Express.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't like that movie just because it has pineapple in it.
Yeah.
And it's the hip new weather condition too.
Is it?
Yeah, just like nobody knew what an El Nino was until it became like a hip, popular like weather condition to like know about and name.
Right.
And now everyone says it. Pineapple Express is another sort of weather condition.
Does it originate from California? Is that
I don't
where
think
is it
so.
from? Okay. Dark Face is if you want to see me fuzzy, I will get on.
If I want to see
Before that,
fuzzy.
she was discussing fetishes. So,
Do
is
I-
she gonna
now-
put a
now-
stick cam video of her? Are you gonna
I
come
would
on in some
love-
sort of fur outfit?
I would love to see your fuzzy.
Are you furry? Are you one of those?
Yes, it's tropical winds coming from Hawaii.
Tropical winds coming from Hawaii. Okay.
That's what they
Yeah,
call
because
it.
they discuss it in the movie, but I didn't pay a lot of attention because I did not like it. But here's why. The cam is fuzzy. I thought you were maybe wearing like ears or something. Anywho. All right. Pineapple Express, right?
I'll keep you posted.
Pineapple Express is a movie with Seth Rogen in it, who is from Knocked Up, and also in Super Bad and a couple other movies, 40-Year-Old Virgin. And this is a funny group of guys, and they always do all that stuff to get all these movies together, right? And this was going to be like their stoner movie. Because they're in the movie, there's this particular pot that is grown in the path of the Pineapple Express wind, which is supposed to be like the best stuff, right? This is a minor point of the movie, though, which somehow blows up into being the whole title of the movie. And it doesn't work. It's kind of a weird. It's really uneven, and you'd think like after. I mean, there's like, you think it's really, really not that hard to make like a stoner comedy. What do you make a couple pot jokes and everybody's like, "Oh man, this is crazy," and like get into some sort of zany situation. Not here. No. This is not like.
Do you think if they would have combined that with the Donkey Punch movie, that would have?
I saw the Donkey Punch movie. I'll
I
tell
know.
you about that. You knew that?
Yeah, you talked about it already.
Oh, did I? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you had definitions and stuff. I saved it.
Like somebody just in the room just mentioned Jay and Silent Bob. Now, Jay and Silent Bob were funny movies. About there, I mean, there's a little bit of stoner comedy element there, and maybe but there's other stuff going on too, which is also really funny. The Harold and Kumar, the first movie was really funny.
I don't know. I didn't see that one. Sorry.
What was the one in the '90s? Me and my wife couldn't remember the name of, where the
I don't
guy
know.
the guy goes to jail. Their best friend ends up going to jail, and it was right around the same time as Dazed and Confused, but that's not the title. It's sort of like it was like the '90s pot movie. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, did you see that yet? That was the funniest movie."
I don't know. I don't find pot humor funny.
There's Fuzzy Faye. She is there.
Fuzzy Faye. Now why are you fuzzy?
She is waving with both hands. So, anyways,
Now you wear glasses. If you take your glasses off, does she look normal?
I don't see anything then. I'm
Oh.
blind as a bat.
Huh.
But yeah, this was just some of the jokes just really fall flat, and you can see everybody in the movie is really quality actors, and you're like, why isn't this movie funny? Everything else these people have been in, I've laughed at. In this movie is just it's not funny at all. It's just really not. And like I was like, maybe I have to be on something to appreciate this. Maybe it would be funnier to me if I was. But alas, I wasn't, and it just wasn't funny. And then in the third act, towards the end of the movie, right? Because in the movie, they witness a murder, and the whole movie is these group of stoners who can't achieve anything in life, are running from a serious situation.
Uh-huh.
But there's never any threat from the bad guys because they're played as being just as goofy. And not Quentin Tarantino, like, we're going to have a funny conversation about hamburgers and then, like, really kill someone goofy. Like, these guys are just goofy. So you're never, like...
Really concerned for
you're
the
not really
central
concerned.
characters?
Yeah, you're not. And then... But then, in the third act, it all of a sudden the movie becomes...
In the third act? Movies have acts?
Really serious. In the final act
Is it
of the
just
movie,
after the second intermission?
Yes.
Alright.
In the end of the movie, all of a sudden the movie becomes deadly serious. Where like they're shooting at each other, and even the three
So
stoner
the
guys,
opposite of Dusk Till Dawn, basically.
Yeah, the three stoner guys get guns, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're shooting the other guys, and then the movie becomes like ultra violent. People die. The stoner guys are killing people. They got machine guns. It becomes like Rambo. And then after that, everything goes back to normal. Like, haha, wasn't that a crazy time? And I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, pass the Doritos, man. Hey, remember that time you fucking killed that guy?
Yeah, I was like, aren't stoners supposed to be really, like, non-violent and sort of goofy? But no, it was a really strange
Not
movie.
with some of those video games that they play.
Yeah. Some people came up to me afterwards and were like, wasn't that a funny movie? Oh, man, I'm totally buying Pineapple Express. That was the best movie. I rented it and I hated it. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? It was 2 hours of my life gone. I don't know. I should have saved my money and rented one of the old any Jay and Silent Bob movie.
Any old one.
Or the first Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Not the second one, which is pretty much...
Where did they go the second time? I don't remember.
Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Which is only like... is a small part of the movie.
Uh-huh.
And is kind of funny. But most all of the jokes in the movie are just retreads of everything you saw in the first one and was funnier the first time. I mean, like, Neil Patrick Harris plays himself in it as this kind of, like, womanizing, he's snorting coke off of, prostitutes, and he's like this sort of, he's just kind of like this crazed, like, asshole. He's doing all kinds of drugs. He's like a nut. It's great to see Neil Patrick Harris, like Doogie Howser, play this, like, total freak. He is really funny. He's stealing cars. He's just nuts. And they're like, Neil Patrick Harris, we never knew. Like, and he's just like a complete madman in the movie. And it's great. And it's really, really funny to hear him, like, saying these, like, saying these really obnoxious guy lines. These really misogynistic, like, guy kind of lines when he actually in real life is gay. But in the movie, he's like, man, I gotta get some burgers. And they're like hamburgers? We're going to get White Castle. We get some hamburgers. He's like, no, man, I need some fur burgers. I'm going crazy back here. Like, he's fucking nuts. It's like, you're like, what the fuck? Neil Patrick Harris?
And which movie was this?
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. It is awesomely funny.
Well, maybe I'll get around to
I forgot he was
someday.
in Starship Troopers, too. Wow, thank you. Which was a serious movie.
A serious movie?
Well, it was a satire, it was a parody, but there was like lots of ultra violence in that movie too.
It wasn't Starship Troopers was a parody on what?
On old World War II movie.
What?
Yeah, like how like they keep having the like you can join now and like and all that stuff. Like that was funny.
Oh, okay.
Not all of it was funny. There was a lot of crazy stuff in there too, but
There's a lot of gunplay, I noticed, and
a lot of people
shooting
get
of insects.
skewered things. But yeah, Pineapple Express just didn't do it for me. I actually saw Donkey Punch. Now, I talked about that when it was coming out, and I was really excited about it.
You watched it, though, and then you talked about it.
I watched the movie now.
Yeah. I thought you'd already watched it.
Oh, no, I talked about it coming out. I was excited about it coming out. Donkey Punch, for those of you who did not hear, the first time we were on here, is the title of an English horror movie wherein it's sort of like a Very Bad Things or a Shallow Ground or like one of those movies where like a bunch of friends are together and something happens that's bad and then the rest of them are starting to cover it up and they start turning on each other. In the course of the movie, a woman, you can tell this from the trailer, is donkey punched and dies. And then the rest of the movie is the rest of this group of people on this houseboat dealing with the repercussions of that, and progressively getting crazier and more obnoxious as it goes on.
Now, for people who haven't seen it, I don't want to give anything away, but do they do anything with the body?
Yes, they do.
Okay, that's it. That's all I want to know.
But,
That's all I want to know.
But I have to. No,
Nope.
I have to.
Nope.
Say,
That's all I want to know.
I have to say,
Nope.
the movie.
No. No. Okay, what?
The movie's a pretty standard affair as far as like. There's nothing really like crazy, because the movie's actually, when it was being marketed, was like, this is an NC-17 movie. It's a hard movie, right, to watch. It's going to be really badass, and it is.
No pun intended.
It is, right? And there's a lot of like male and female nudity in the beginning of the movie, like more than you're used to seeing in an American horror movie. Full frontal for both genders, right? And you're like, wow, this is pretty wild to see, right? And there is the whole like conversation that leads up to the donkey punch, where they talk about other, what are sort of like legendary sex moves, like things that you're like,
legendary sex moves.
You know, like
You're
stuff
talking
like,
about some of the stuff I've done.
Yeah, like stuff like you're like, no one ever did that. Somebody's making that up. Like an angry dragon or a donkey punch, or something that they describe in the movie called a tarmac, which I'm not going to talk about on here because it is too foul even for me.
Wow.
Watch the movie to learn what a tarmac is, because I am not discussing that.
That movie is not available for sale on my website.
No. Or just Google what is a tarmac. But
It's a place where planes taxi.
yeah, that's true too. It's also something foul to be done between two people.
Can 3 people do it?
In theory.
In theory, I guess. Hell, let's all do it.
Anywho, right? In the movie, though, they describe they kind of talk about the donkey punch, and you know what? If anybody ever was like, the fact that a girl dies in mid coitus when they're doing when the donkey punch is done, you know.
Now, wasn't that in theaters the same time as Horton Hears a Who?
I believe so. I believe some people might have actually seen Donkey Punch instead of Horton Hears a Who by accident. Traumatizing children everywhere.
Yeah. Too bad I don't still work in a movie theater. Could have re-edited those together.
That would have been great.
Yeah. Horton Hears a Donkey Punch. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, if you understand like the physics of a donkey punch, like
The physics.
the fact that someone doesn't die.
I don't think I have to be a physicist.
If anyone in the 49 lurkers or any of our viewers out there has actually successfully done this without killing someone or dying yourself,
Tell me how.
It pretty much involves anal sex or doggy style with a woman, and then during it,
Wait. Does it have to be a woman?
Or it could be a guy.
Could it be a bear?
Could be a bear, and you punch this person in the back of the neck. The fact as like, you know.
I thought it was the back of the head.
They're about to come. Well, back of the head. Like I mean, like, how the person would die. You know, like if you really like.
And they did in the
they
case
die
of the
in the
film.
movie. Yeah. I believe it's it's theoretical physics. Somebody wrote that.
Theoretical
in
physics.
Theoretical physics.
So yeah, explain the physics part of it again.
I don't know. If you have somebody like this and you punch them in the back, I mean, like you could break one of your vertebrae back there. Or something, you know, like there's all kinds of things that could go wrong. There's all kinds of things.
I've had all kinds of sex, and trust me, every time I do it, there's all sorts of things that can go wrong, and no one's died yet.
I would wonder though, like how many, like, you know, I would wonder what the statistics are, and this is sort of an interesting thing to Google. Would be like how many, like, you know, sex-related injuries or deaths occurred from just trying to do something outside of the box.
Outside of the box?
Yeah, you know, like one night we thought it'd be really great if we did this, and I didn't know he'd end up, blind. Like I don't know, like something.
So, a friend of mine, she had that I worked with.
Oh, this is gonna be
She
good.
had this gal. She was a 911
Right.
operator, and she got a call from a woman, and she said that her husband had fallen and hurt and injured his head.
Okay.
And so the operator's like, she gave her address and everything like that, and he's unconscious. Please send someone. The things that you'd say.
Right.
And the operator keeps asking her, well, is he breathing? She's like, I don't know. Well, you should be able to tell by doing this or doing that. Does he have a pulse? She's like, I don't know. I can't. I can't tell.
Okay.
She could just tell that he was not moving, and that appeared to be unconscious, and then there was and his head was bleeding. That's all she really knew.
Right.
And so the girl keeps trying to get information, from her. Well, check to see if he has a pulse, and perhaps, she's like, well, no, I can't get to him. She's like, well, I don't understand. Where are you? She's like, well, we're in the same room together, but I can't get to him.
Oh no.
And the operator just couldn't comprehend what the situation was and what was happening. And so finally, the girl on the phone has to reveal. She's like, well, if you simply must know, I'm tied to our bed, and he's lying on the floor, and I can't get to him. Now, how this one managed to wrestle the phone off of the nightstand.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess, you could do if it was, right there and kind of like throw it at your head. Just shout into it. I mean, it is possible. But, so yeah, I guess when the fire department, arrived and they had to, bust through, the front door and come upstairs. And so, here's this guy's wife completely naked, tied down to the bed with like one hand all fucked up from trying to get the phone. And then he is lying on the floor, at the foot of the bed, dressed as Batman.
That's awesome.
But in a G-string.
That's fucking awesome.
So apparently, what had happened was he was standing on the dresser, about to swoop down, and as he leapt from the dresser to the bed, he smacked his head on the ceiling fan and knocked himself out.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
So that's a situation where kinky sex can be dangerous, especially if you're planning on jumping from one piece of furniture to another, and there are low-hanging light fixtures.
Right.
That could be a hazard.
I wonder if he was playing the Danny Elfman music when he made the jump.
I don't know, but
that would have been amazing. There's a show called Cheaters, where you hire the detective agency to follow your cheating spouse, or who you think is cheating, and then they reunite you at the end, but they always try to catch the cheater in the act for better ratings and for better viewing. With the and they're bringing the person along to see what what your other half is doing wrong, right? There's this really funny one, which it's probably up on YouTube somewhere, where this guy thinks his girlfriend's been running around, but he's not really sure what she's up to. And when they finally find her, and they're like, "Do you want to confront her now? She's at the house with some people." He's like, "Some people?" So they go in, and she's tied to the bed, and there's two women with construction helmets on and hazard tape all over and all kinds of weird construction related stuff up everywhere. And he's like, "What the fuck is going on, man? What the fuck?" And he starts freaking out. It's hysterical. And then I think afterwards, when they're interviewing her, he's like, he just doesn't want to try new things. It's really funny. And he's like, this guy's a pretty ordinary guy. He's like, what is any of this? He's just the look
he
of
doesn't want to try new things.
The look of incomprehension on his face is priceless. He can't even begin to understand what had been happening in this room. This is just so outside of his schema.
Yeah, I had an episode like that once. A girl broke up with me to get back together with her ex, who liked her to dress up as a cow. And I couldn't wrap my mind around that for a while.
That is weird.
I understand a little better now. But
a cow isn't even a sexy animal, you think if you wanted to dress your partner up as some sort of animal, you'd want like a sexy animal.
Like what?
Like, you
What's
know.
a sexy animal, Matt?
No, like some.
A bear? Is a bear sexy?
I don't know. Somebody just mentioned a lemur in there.
A lemur. Lemurs are dead sexy.
You know, if I was that guy and I came home and my wife was with a bunch of girls with construction helmets on, I'd be like...
You'd just be like, it would be like just some other day.
Yes,
pretty much, at your house. Yeah.
I think I'd be like, I'm putting on my hat
Once
too!
there's somebody sitting there fondling her lobes.
Not the lobes again. No, but seriously, I mean, like, you know, like, just, I guess, teach their own. I guess somebody might have a fetish for cows.
Yeah, well, apparently he did.
I don't know. There are animals which people might consider as a sexy animal.
Huh.
Cats are generally considered sexy because sort of like they're sort of like slinky and cats. Like, don't look at me weird, dude. You're into knuckles and shit. What the fuck?
I was kidding about the knuckle thing.
Oh, okay.
Fucking idiot.
Tigers are sexy. Somebody just said tiger in there. Put a tiger in your tank. Yeah. Do some internet searching. You'll find some crazy stuff.
Okay, there's two people on webcam.
Oh, does this mean we can play?
I guess. So I came up with a game.
Okay, let's play. Ready.
It's really not like a very involved game. It's actually pretty simple.
All right.
But it's something I'm gonna do every week.
Okay.
Even weeks I'm not doing the show, I'm gonna do it by myself, out in the street.
Sometimes when I don't have to do the show, I do things by myself.
In the street?
No, not necessarily.
Okay. This is a little segment I like to call "Who's Got Cuter Socks?"
Yeah, all right. Let's play it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Show me your socks.
Check this out. Black
Those are
socks.
Fucking.
Da-na-na-na-na. Socks.
With Skechers.
Black socks with Skechers on.
Okay.
Andrew Go is wearing some kind of boot.
But no socks.
Go Andrew Go. No sock.
No socks.
Sockless in the boot.
So those can't possibly be cute socks if there are no socks.
No.
Oh, these are just black too. They've sunken down into the shoe.
Into the boot. Is it snowy where you are, or is there a reason for the big construction boots? Do you work?
Is there a reason that you're dressed like this?
I don't know. It's because I'm a mime. That's why I have this black sweater on.
Okay, Dark Fate, you could lie and say that you've got some really cute socks and they'd just be fuzzy and we wouldn't know. You could just say they're fuzzy socks.
Cyber Cookie says mine have kitties with blue bows.
Kitties with blue bows. See, we can't see them though as proof. We need actual proof of cute socks.
Go Andrew Go says he's a douchey old punk. Punk spin. I think Dark Fate was typing, but I'm not sure.
Matt's seen them. You've seen the socks.
I have seen the kitties with the blue bows.
Okay, so you can judge then, okay?
Dark Face says she can change to cuter ones, but she has not.
No, you can't change. They have to be the socks you're wearing now. Now, see, next week when we play, you'll know ahead of time, and then maybe you can get some cuter socks.
Wait! I'm going up the chat room here. Dark Face says that hers were initially black.
Okay.
But she could change to cuter ones.
Okay. Yeah. No. That would be against the rules because then I could just go change and get socks to trump the kittens with blue bows.
All right.
But I don't think I have to.
Okay. Let's see.
Because I've got cupcakes with cherries.
What? Snap.
Is that cuter than
wow.
than kittens?
Those.
They're cupcakes.
Cuter than kittens.
And they're sparkly. Are hers sparkly?
No, they are not.
I don't know. Could
much
you guys
cuter
see
than black anklet socks, which Dark Fae has on, or the black socks, which Go Andrew Go has on. However, he is wearing his.
See, she said she concedes. I win.
Yes.
I win.
Go Andrew Go is wearing his indifferent sunglasses.
Oh, good.
Which means that he does not care about the competition. Or maybe he does, and he's hiding behind the indifferent sunglasses to hide his shame and despair at the mighty cupcake socks You are rocking out there, my friend.
So I win the first ever. Who's got cuter socks?
Next week. I'm
gonna come up with other games.
I'm bringing
funner games.
Oh. All right, so I'm not gonna know what it is. Only you know. This is a difficult.
Well,
game.
no, we'll still do the sock one, but I'll come up with something else.
Oh.
I'm toying with the idea of well, I'm not gonna give anything away.
Next week, for all I know, it could be like, who's got something funnier tied around their penis? And I'll be like, shit, I have nothing. What have you got? I've got a ribbon with bells. And I'll be like, fuck, you win, dude. Like, I was unprepared for this game. I would have come in with some spaghetti tied around it. I don't know. Like,
no, it's just not gonna all be about like what you're wearing. So
you know what? Next week, Darkface says she will pwn your ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's probably gonna wear some really wicked cool socks. It's gonna be on now.
Now, see, it's already getting interesting.
You know
We're
what? I'm
already looking forward to next week's
I'm
show.
going to Target tomorrow. I'm going to Target, and I'm finding myself.
I'm going to Value Village. I'm going to go in a little girls section, and I'm going to spend a few hours there, and then go shop for some socks.
That's disturbing. Right. Joe Andrew claims to have a mistletoe in his penis. If we were playing that game, he would win right now because I'm presuming you have nothing tied on your penis. I don't. So
I don't think he has one tied. Is it tied on or is it a tattoo? Because that'd be a good tattoo to have. I would think.
No. I don't know. But that would be a win. Presuming we were playing that game. We were not playing that game now. But in theory.
Yeah, I don't like to tie nature to my penis ordinarily.
That would be a bad idea. I don't necessarily like to tie anything to my penis. I wouldn't do that. I think that's.
And who's that for, really? I mean, mistletoe. Is that like in case, like, you know, the midgets at the bus stop or something? You know, or
yeah. I don't know.
You midgets kiss right now. I've got some mistletoe hanging from my cock.
Mark C. Mo says, I'm gonna have a dead bird on my head, a crown of tennis balls, and a feather duster up my ass. In theory, she could win next week if your contest was.
How much weird shit can I put on myself?
How much weird shit can I put on myself?
No, we're just doing the sock thing.
Sock thing. Okay, sock thing for now. You know, you'd think this would earn us a shitload of viewers, but we're down to 33.
Oh, yeah, we're dipping off good now. Well, it's after midnight, you know. People assume the show's over.
No, it's not over. The show never ends. It goes on and on.
Look,
and
even
on.
the guy on the webcam left.
Yeah.
But he's there in spirit.
Yeah.
So yeah, technically we haven't. I mean, even though it's 12:02, we haven't really done 2 hours because you were freakishly late.
I was, but I was getting coffee.
You were getting coffee, which is why I forgave you for being late. I was actually on time, so the Dark Fae can be proud of me because she's mentioned about the lateness a few times.
Oh.
Because we have been late.
Oh.
And I think one time I was like an hour late.
Yeah, yeah, that we were late like that one time.
But yeah, I was on time today. I was all ready to go.
You were.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check out this YouTube video.
You should check out the YouTube. You guys.
You know what? You're gonna get a tardy slip for being late so often. Somebody just said tardiness in there. You're gonna get a tardy slip.
I'm gonna get I should get some sort of tardy slip.
You need a hall pass. That would excuse you.
But yeah, you guys should actually go and watch on YouTube. The channel is Feature Picture Show. Watch my latest video. Now he's got a hat. And I don't so much want you to watch it so much as I want someone to rate it. Rate it good, even though you don't like it. Because like I said, there's not.
Well,
when you watch it, it's
that.
nothing. It's absolutely nothing.
Okay, but apparently it had a lot of viewers.
Well, yeah, but people will watch anything. Obviously,
I want to watch that, and I also want to watch the UFO film movie, so I can be caught up with your.
Like you haven't seen the movie yet?
No, and that's because I haven't had a lot of time. I've been very busy.
You watch other stuff.
But I do want to watch your movie, and I will.
Well, see, you should watch mine because it's really good. I could loan you a copy.
Your hard work and your labors. I want to see what you have wrought.
What I have
upon
wrought.
The world.
What I have been rotting away at. Yeah, it's actually listed on the Internet Movie Database now too. It's not just for sale on Amazon.com. You can actually go to the Internet Movie Database and search for UFO filled a movie, and it's on there in all of its glory.
The fruit of Doc's.
There's no pictures because apparently you have to pay for that.
Really?
Yeah, unless of course I'm sure if you're like a big studio, they just like load the pictures on there. But
right, yeah.
But yeah, like if I wanted to get my big fat face put on there, they'd want me to pay for that.
Really?
And I'm thinking of doing it just because I want my face to be more places. I think.
Like tattooed on someone.
Yes.
Like one of our viewers.
Yes.
That should be the contest. Who's Doc tattooed on out there? And if somebody has a Doc tattoo on them, they win.
No, but seriously, if anyone wants to go to my website, donate money, little donation button, you click on that. And if I know who you are, I'll make you a really bitchin' sign. I'll write it on Matt, and he'll be like your human billboard. And for anyone donating more than $50, Matt will suck you off. And if you're a girl, well, you're out of luck because he doesn't go that way.
What?
You don't mind if I whore you out, do you?
Yeah, I feel cheap and used.
Well, so it's just like any other day. So
Yeah.
you had a book.
I
Is it
had
with
so
you?
many notes and stuff. And
Yeah.
It's gone out the window because we went out on so many other things.
We did. We talked about your piercings and stuff,
Yeah.
and last week you started talking about like anarchy, and
Oh well, that was
people. That was boring as hell.
No, we were talking. It was topical.
It wasn't topical. It happened a fucking year ago. It's not topical.
It was topical to our town.
Whatever.
So, all right. I don't know how much time we have left, but I can tell you that this Friday the remake.
Well, that's all the time we have. For
Oh, rats! The remake of My Bloody Valentine comes out, and it's a 3D horror movie, and they shot it in 3D in the same way that they shot that recent Journey to the Center of the Earth that nobody saw, because it looked like it sucked. But it's a 3D horror movie, right? And in this type of filming or whatever, I don't know if necessarily you need glasses for it, but only certain kinds of theaters can carry it. Other ones you'll just see it in regular plain old 2D and you'll miss out. I don't know if any of the theaters here in town have the 3D technology.
Probably not.
Probably not, but some do. I read one review of the new one that's coming out, and he said that one of the, besides the fact that it's like a typical horror slasher movie, probably blood and other things flying out at you. There's a nude scene, which goes on and on and on. That's in 3D. I don't believe a three-dimensional nude scene has ever been done before, but this time there was.
You know what I'd like to see in 3D?
What?
Is that chicken scene from Angel Heart.
Yes.
With the blood and the feathers and shit? That would be awesome in 3D.
It would be.
And a little Cosby Kid titties falling on everything.
Well, I guess there's this nude scene of this actress in this movie, and her everything is just sort of popping out at you. Maybe some people want to see that. For
Maybe
me,
some people want to see that. Maybe they do.
I actually just rented yesterday, or watched off of Netflix, the original My Bloody Valentine, which came out in 1981. After the first Friday the 13th, after the first Halloween, so the slasher genre is still sort of in its baby stage, right? And before they've kind of went into like multiple sequel zone.
Yeah.
And this is just sort of this oddity. And it's really funny. Like when you watch it now, it's hysterical. And you can tell like they did not mean it to be funny when it came out. Like they meant this to be absolutely deadly serious, and the movie is just funny as hell.
I think a lot of horror movies are like that, where you they seem funny, but I think if you actually like spoke with the author and the director,
Right.
they'd be like, well, no. I
Yeah.
mean, like, see, they think B movie means like it's that they think the B stands for budget.
Right.
They don't realize it stands for bad. So I think that's the difference there. So yeah, there's a lot of actual and I've met some people who make horror flicks and they really are intending to make serious horror films.
Right.
And they do not. Which and that's why people watch them is because they're campy and they're funny and they're stupid.
Right.
But if you talk to people like, oh no, you didn't really think
You didn't understand my vision.
Yeah. And of course Hollywood has kind of caught on to that, which is why you have movies like Anaconda with Ice Cube. Man, there are snakes out here this big. Damn.
The movie was released in '81 with the tagline "Valentine's Day will never be the same again."
Huh.
Or
wait a minute, that could be the tagline for your new show.
They were actually multiple
for the
ones.
burlesque for the
Valentine's Day.
yeah.
Or they also had "Someone's Bound to Lose Their Heart." Oh, that's a funny one, right? Or "There's more than one way to lose your heart."
And there must be 50 ways to lose your lover.
There are. That's what Paul Simon told me.
So you are a Jew. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Sorry.
I don't know what to say. Weirdly, all right. So if you go on like Rotten Tomatoes or other movie critic sites, this movie, My Bloody Valentine, usually rates a 3. It's like out of 10, and most people hate it. However, Quentin Tarantino says it's his favorite slasher movie of all time.
Really?
And other people say it's criminally underappreciated.
Criminally, wow.
Yeah. And it's terrible. It's a terrible movie. But I have to tell you why it's so funny. Like, what's so unintentionally funny about it? Which you get in a lot of B movies, but I didn't expect this. I figured, it'll be a slasher movie, and it'll probably be, not that great, but okay. And it's funny as hell. Like, they set up in the beginning that there's this miner. This is the plot. You
mean like a small child or somebody who
like
digs for
coal? A coal miner.
Okay.
It's a coal mining town, right? And 1 year, 20 years ago, on Valentine's Day, there was going to be this great Valentine's dance in town, as we celebrate every year. To the exclusion of all other holidays, we love Valentine's Day the best. And we really go all out to celebrate it. Only there were coal miners mining that night, and they couldn't get back to the dance right away because there was an accident. And a bunch of guys got buried, and one of them went crazy. And he killed a bunch of people. And therefore, after that, Valentine's Day was never celebrated in the town again for 20 years. So now, 20 years later, they're going to have the big Valentine's dance again. But this year they're doing it bigger than ever. This town where this was shot in Canada, I don't know what the townspeople thought while this was going on. There's hearts on everything. There's hearts on like the street, like the parking street meters. There's hearts like literally like paper hearts like wrapped around it with tape. Like it's no one could put a coin in anymore. Like there's hearts on every window, big hearts and balloons hanging off of everything. Even if I was not a killer returned after 20 years and hated Valentine's Day, and I saw this shenanigans
fuck those
going
people
on,
up.
I'd be like, everyone in this town needs to die, like, and in horrible fashions.
And then Patrick Swayze shows up in a dress and a miner's hat, and chaos ensues.
Yes, pretty much. It's just terrible, terrible.
Well.
Oh, and I have to say one other thing.
No,
this is really funny. This is really funny. This is
you can't. You
super
don't have
funny.
time.
No,
you don't have time. You
the
don't
killer,
have time.
The killer leaves these.
You don't have any time.
The killer leaves these Valentine's notes for people before he kills them, and they're rhymes, but they're really bad. Like the worst possible rhymes, and you're like, what? That doesn't even rhyme. What? That was such a stretch. Like they're just terrible.
We finally got around to talking about movies, and now we won't shut up.
And it is fucking funny. My Bloody Valentine, the original, it's really funny.
Like 15 I'm Dr. Gaffer. This is Matt,
The new
the
one,
man
3D
behind the
boobs,
rant,
is that
and
thing.
you've been in the back row. Thank you for joining us.
We talked about movies for a bit. We talked about fetishes. We talked about piercing.